Gives me great pleasure to welcome everybody to Zanta's third Life Forward virtual workshop, Mindfulness, Moving Forward, and Self-Care During These Difficult Times, which will provide us techniques and ways to feel better. Now I would like to introduce our speaker, Carla Walker. Carla? Oh, there, she's the third up there on my screen anyway. And we have a guest, Rubina Hussain from the Zanta Club in Bangladesh. Wave to everybody, Rubina. And also Debbie Angwood, District 9 Lieutenant Governor. Debbie, could you wave to everyone? So now our club president, Beth Heiserman. So Beth, wave to everyone. Now I'd like to share a little about Carla. Carla Walker is a spiritual coach, teacher, licensed marriage, family therapist, and a Robbins Mandain strategic intervention coach, practicing for over 25 years. She has worked with executives, celebrities, and high-profile clients in the music industry. Individuals, couples, families, groups, and corporations have benefited from her unique and enthusiastic style. Her dharma, or path, and purpose for being on the planet is to help people attain their highest purpose. She is here to help build your daily practice spiritually, mentally, and physically, increasing your light or ability to love and feel amazing. Her holistic style includes teaching how to direct the mind, strengthen the body, and find or follow your spirit's past. Her expertise is very impressive. She's co-author of an international best-selling book, Cracking the Rich Code, and an expert in the documentary Imagine a World. And now the stage is yours, Carla.
Thank you so much. I didn't know that I would feel this way. A lot of times when I begin talking, I don't feel so emotional and I just start talking and letting it come through me. But today I feel such an honor to be here, and I feel just such a connection because we have the whole world on today. And this whole connection, since we're all so connected, I think it feels extra special to be here in this time. And I know it's not a long period of time, but we're in such interesting times on the planet right now. And one of the things I'm hoping that you'll use, if you're not used to using Zoom, but to use the chat. And I'm going to tell you why, because I'm going to ask you along the way to be making some commitments. And we're supposed to have over 30 people on this today. So I'm hoping that there will be some commitments that you'll make from something that you hear to help shift your energy, that we can help others shift theirs, and to help people get in balance and really help us through this time. It might sound crazy that if you are someone who watches the news, that I recommend not watching the news, but there's a lot of drama and scariness for people right now. And I have a lot of people that are so anxious and depressed about what's happening in the world. But just for this next hour, or a little over an hour, I'd love for you to explore within yourself what you might be grateful for with COVID. And I want to just share you a few things that for my own clients that I've noticed is that they've been sort of put in a retreat state. Unless you're like a super strong essential worker, you've been put in a retreat state to review your life. So there has been a more inward time to explore, am I on path? Am I living my best life? How is my life going? Where a lot of people, you know, in LA area, but really all over the world, are rushing here and rushing there, and moms are feeling like they can't give enough to their kids because they just don't know where to stop and where to put something down and take a breath. And I feel like COVID has given many people a breath. And I just want you to kind of maybe let other thoughts come through that you might be chatting on that side chat of what you've noticed you've been grateful for. I know I have had more time to walk in the hills in nature. I have been able to connect with more people on those walks, and I've been able to connect in my community with getting to know more names. And I've been able to have, I've introduced other people in the community to strengthen that. So just kind of notice what goes on in your mind that might come in and say, I didn't really think I'm grateful for this. I also have noticed I have started the garden. I started one of those things I wanted to do, which was composting, and I've been sharing food. So many of you, you know, it's kind of a joke on it. There's a TV commercial that says, is everyone making sourdough bread? So why do I want to get you to a state of gratitude? Because I know that will elevate our state of mind, right? So one of the things that I had offered to Adele and Phyllis was that I have 10 copies of the book, and it is called Cracking the Rich Code. And some of you might be thinking it's just all these wealthy people wrote their chapters on how they became wealthy financially. My chapter is actually about how to live a wealthy life, and it's about self-care, and it's about giving, and it's about habits in the day that can help lead to you living a rich life. So there are 10 copies. I think Adele and Phyllis said if there's more than 10 addresses that come through on the chat, that they would do a drawing for those people to get a copy of the book. So, this is, I wanted just to share that my family shifted to Eastern Western philosophy when I was in 5th grade. So meditation was introduced at that time, and it was not easy for a 5th grader who was hyperactive to learn to sit and be mindful of their bodies and learn to breathe. But I was drawn to it back then, and have continued to meditate. And I want, obviously, we know the world's not in the most beautiful, perfect state that how we would want it. And many people are looking at their control issues. But I wanted you to know that I had to already practice paying attention to my body, because my printer would not work. And I spent time yesterday just doing an outline and writing my notes. And I walked this 5-mile beautiful walk with hiking up in the hills with my daughter. And I was like, I'll just print it off, and I'm going to print it early. And my printer was printing everything else. But what I noticed was just me walking to my printer, I was paying attention to my body. I was paying attention to my breath. I was noticing even that my energy started to go up in my body, because I was like, oh, please. And I said, let me just breathe and walk. And I had to let go of control, right? I had to let go of what was happening in this moment. And so I thought I would share my own work. So one of the things that I think is a fun thing to do is, some of you might be feeling happy today, but I know that we've got a incredibly high stat going on with depression and with anxiety right now. And so one of the things that I'm going to ask us to do that is a really quick shift, and I like to do things that are easy, quick, fast, and free, and it's called jiggling. And I learned this from 5 Elements Yoga. And I am going to ask all of us, unless the doctor doesn't allow you to to stand and jiggle, you can move some part of your body. But I want you to notice right now in this moment, how does your body feel? Take your breath into the body and just start paying attention where there's tension. You know, do you feel anything in your shoulders, in your neck? Is your heart racing? Is your chi sluggish? You know, your chi's your energy field. Is it like, just another day, just another day? And so I just want you to notice your energy. And we are going to start to jiggle. I've got a clock. I'm going to have us just jiggle for a minute. So what jiggling is we're going to get the body going. We're going to start right now. So we're going to start shaking our hands. and you can shake them with vigor. And if you can stand up and start wiggling, I'm sitting, but my legs are going, and I'm going to get them going as hard as I can. My feet are flicking. I'm moving my body, and I'm getting the energy going, right? I see Sandy up there. She's got her hands going really good. Phyllis is going. We got this body moving. Your breath is kind of starting to accelerate, right? Sandy's having some fun. I see some smiles on faces just start happening. So we got about another 20 seconds, and you start wiggling and jiggling. And you can tell, I cannot help start laughing. We got it going on. We're shaking, we're wiggling, we're feeling good. A little harder, a little more, let it go, let it go. Big breath out, ready? Okay. Woo. I just want you to go into the body now. How is your body feeling now? Maybe someone can put a few chats up there now. Is there more chi in your body? Energy moving? A little easier to smile. Heart's a pumping, blood's a flowing, energy's moving. It's a really nice, quick and easy way to shift. So I'm gonna let our breath slow down for a minute. For those of you who are shaking pretty good, you might be breathing pretty hard. So what I was hoping for today is that you could be thinking about what perhaps new habit you could build in your body. Thanks, Nicole and Adele. So I want you to be thinking about what are your daily habits, or what daily habits have you let go of just because they slipped away? And one of the biggest things I write about in Cracking the Rich Code is the importance of that structure right now. We kind of feel like people are just floating. They've maybe lost their structure from maybe not going to work. They're at home, their kids are on Zoom. What do we need to do? It's even more important. So for me, I'm very ritualistic about waking up at a certain time. I'm just going to tell you a few of the choices, and you're going to come up with your own. And I wake up at a certain time. And when I get up, I do not go to my phone. Maybe your commitment's going to be in the chat to all 30, however many of us, to not go to your phone, right? Maybe you're going to write, I'm going to commit to start my day with not turning on the news or not going to my phone, but I'm going to start my day with my breath work, which we can go into that in a second. Maybe I wake up, I start my day by making my bed, and that ritual kind of just starts something that you've used one of your muscles, your mind, to discipline, that discipline of making your bed and feeling something is in order. There people feel out of control with COVID, right? So here's someplace you have control. I start with warm lemon water. Why? It's a way of taking care of the body. It's a way to balance the body. It's a nice way to nurture yourself, right? And then I sit down and I start my breath work. And I know for some of you, you're like, I don't know how to do breath work. I'm going to teach you a really simple, quick, easy meditation. I have a particular one that I was trained in that I just do with my Kriya beads, but these are some of my rituals, right? And then I get out and I go on my hike or my walk. So I don't know what you want to do, and maybe it's going to be your daily ritual of getting to bed on time. Maybe it's going to be, I'm going to put my phone down by 7 p.m. and my iPad or my computer, 6 p.m., be with the kids, get your walk. I don't know, but I'm going to be really challenge you. Please write. It's more important, it's stronger if we commit to this group. And another thought I had is some of you women from the Zonta group know each other, and maybe you want to challenge someone you know in it to say, let's pair up. I'm committing to you, you know, like Phyllis and Adele, they've been working together. Maybe they're going to commit. I'm going to get up and I'm going to jiggle every day for, you know, one time a day. Something that you're going to commit to. So I see Anna's drinking her warm water, filtered, tapped. But anyway, she's drinking her lemon water. And so I want you to be thinking about what's going to be your practice daily, and if you can start writing them. If you just think it, you've got a chance of making that happen, but when you write it, you really up the percentage of keeping that habit going. So yeah, I see Rabina, she drinks her water. She's committing. We're getting some commitments going. Lemon hot water every morning from Sandy. Okay. So I wanted to teach a really simple meditation because I do know we've got a lot of depression on the planet. This is actually from an Eastern, over in Rabina's country, that it's called a smile meditation. So what we're going to do right now is, if you uncross your legs, I don't know if you're laying on the floor, some of you might be laying in bed, but if you uncross your legs and soften your shoulders, if you can, straight spine. Thank you, Tammy. A straight spine. And we're just going to begin to start paying attention to your breathing and going inward. Some of you will want to close your eyes, allowing your jaw to drop, and noticing that your hips are very supported by this world, this universe, the structure that you're in. So let's soften the breath going into the belly. So our brain doesn't understand the difference if you're truly happy or you put your face in a smile position. It's just going to register the signals from our face being in a smile position. So we're going to put our faces in the biggest, brightest, happiest smile position as we still pay attention to our breath work. And you're going to be sitting in a smile position, and you're going to just pay attention to your breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, just exhaling, dropping your shoulders even a little bit more. And the brain begins to register, I'm happy in this moment. I'm in joy. All is well, truly, in this moment. And you notice that your belly expands just a little bit more. And the joy that starts to radiate out from you as you keep your body in a smile position. And maybe take that smile just a little bit bigger. And some of you might actually just start cracking up, because I usually can't even teach it without laughing, because the smile makes me start laughing that I think I probably look funny if someone saw me. And I have honestly even done this in my car. I just keep myself in a smile position because I know I want to shift my energy. And I'm just letting the breathing soften, allowing the joy to grow in my body. And then I'm aware of the joy is radiating out from me to others. And you can tell the breath, just paying attention to it, that your breath expands even fuller. And what comes from that is the heart opens a little bit more. And the breath goes a little deeper, and the heart opens just a little bit more. Noticing your belly soft, your toes relax, Your legs soften in the chair. And anything that's not in this moment, you just allow it to pass by. And the breath goes a little deeper. And some of you might be having thoughts, and if the thoughts are coming in, maybe they could be thoughts of what you're loving about your life, the things that are good, that you have some of you have your toes or your fingers or water. Or that you have good friends. That you had a nice breakfast. And in your smile, allow your teeth to show, knowing you are a light being. We are here bringing joy to others when we're in this altered state. All evidence shows that when we are in this state, it radiates out from us and it affects people for as far as we want it to reach. And today, there are a lot of people that need us to radiate some love and joy to them. Allowing that breath to go deeper. And maybe you could choose one person right now that you know is deeply hurting from COVID. And we will, as a group, send love out to them. We're all connected. And maybe you would want to smile that beautiful smile. And you can feel that you're radiating that love to everyone in this circle that signed on today. That we're brothers and sisters connected, and that I don't believe you'd be on this call if you weren't some part of you being called to help change this world. And I hope that you will remember throughout today, and maybe it's going to be your commitment to do a smile meditation, that when you think of this group, I trust that it will bring a smile to your face. And someone might even ask, like, what are you smiling about? And it's just, I don't know, I just feel really loving and I feel joyful. And I want to share that joy with you. So let's begin to breathe ourselves back. And I want you just to pay attention to how your body is feeling. And what you might be noticing, if you want to write in the chat something that you might be noticing in your body that shifted, or even an experience of who you sent love to and who you sent some of that joy out to. Zonta is an international organization. You're changing lives every day. And I'm sure there's more need than ever right now. And these are such simple things we can do. And perhaps sometimes you might also feel tired or see the heavy demand. Something that is really important right now, I felt like in the first few months of COVID that there were people kind of hunkering down and kind of trying to figure out how to get through it. And then the last couple months, I noticed more anxiety and depression expressed from people, more frustration, that it felt like it's okay, enough, it's gone on a long time. And now I know, the numbers are changing again. And what I'm aware of is that we all need a tribe. We all need a tribe. And what's happening is this kind of forced people into isolation. And one thing I know with Zonta, many of the people who are connected with Zonta are in the senior age group. So there's probably more isolation where there was a lot of gatherings and, this group and that group, maybe you're on Zoom, but there can be some isolation, but there's isolation with people on the planet and disconnect. And I really have been trying to encourage everyone, depending on their level of fear and their health, to try to figure out who we can connect with, right? Who can we know we can count on that we're going to get a visit? If it's Zoom or sitting at a park bench, even if it's 6 feet apart, but we've got to get that connection going or people are declining emotionally right now. So I wanted to know some of the things people might be doing, but for me, the way that I mentioned on the walk, I kept seeing these couple of same women, and I was across the street, and I finally said, "Hi, I'm Carla," and I reached out to them, and there are a couple of people that you have conversations of what's their level of protection with COVID, but I ended up making friends with them where we walk now. So I have family in a group I walk with, and I have these other people I walk with. And I want to share a story that's touched a number of us as we walk on these hills where there's been a woman that she's very much isolated to herself. And we'd see her every once in a while. But on this walk, I had introduced myself and my daughter, and we learned she takes photos of bugs and spiders and knows every animal in these hills. And she walks, we're up there at 5 in the morning and she's there before us. So I don't know if she's walking at 4 in the morning, but she's by herself. And I had other people get to know her name. And so we've said hello, and she has a website, and, we would have never known that if it wasn't for COVID, but I also know she's brought joy to us, and I'm hoping we've brought joy to her and connection too, and seeing her. And then you begin to kind of count on someone on that walk that, like, I'm going to probably see her and she'll tell us she saw this horny toad and how many, or what she found in the hills, that she photographed. And I think, I'm hoping that some of you will be sharing in chats, if you're not connecting, how we're going to get you connected. And I know that there's a group called Meetup. Some of you all might know Meetup. And I went to it because I knew that a lot of the groups had gone just on Zoom. But there was 168 members of a COVID group that if someone says, I don't have anyone, I'm isolated, you can get on Meetup, and it's free. And it's a way that I know you can connect with people of all ages, and they were covering kind of life topics. They were not just sitting talking about COVID. they were becoming friends and connected. So I see a question, Meetup. Yeah, so Meetup runs in different cities. I lived in North Carolina and for 5 years, and I went on Meetup, and I've had clients go on Meetup that they would post kind of an interest of theirs, and people can sign up for that same interest. And if no one signs up, then the group doesn't happen. But I had somebody who was from New York, and she wanted to be friends with people from New York, and she said, we're going to meet. And they met, and 5 of them, there were 5 that met, and 3 kind of stayed connected as friends. So I know that that we've got to find ways. For some people, I mean, churches, a lot of churches had stopped, a lot of the places that people would connect have stopped, and I know a lot of people aren't going into work, so we have to find ways to get connected. And maybe some of you aren't even seeing your family. I have a lot of people that aren't even seeing their family, and if you don't know how to use Zoom on your own, please ask someone to help you learn how to do that and set up a structured meeting. I have a brother alone in Phoenix area, and he just doesn't connect with others. He's in his 70s, and I just know for us, it's important that I just like, hey, we'll meet Sunday at 4 and we'll get on Zoom. And I know he always thanks me after. And I know I saw Nicole wrote, she reached out to a friend, and she's doing her weekly walk. And what I would like you guys to write, if you're doing it, is when I check in with someone and I ask them about their joy level, it is absolutely different. Their moods absolutely shift if I get people connected with a human, you know. And I know animals help, they help, but talking to another human is important, and it feeds us. So I didn't know, somebody put up the link. Yes, Meetup. So you can do meetups. They have them in most cities, and they're free unless somebody's going to a certain comedy club or something like that, which is not happening now. So, and if anyone's in recovery, I know a lot of people were doing Zoom, but I know a lot of the recovery meetings are now meeting in the parks, and I highly recommend people getting there. So I was wondering, what are some other ways you have found to connect that might help this group, that might strengthen? And oh good, somebody's thanking for the link. So I wondered, what are some other ways you have been able to meet up with people that have felt safe? Some people can just write on the chats. Denise, thank you. Okay, Denise said social distancing, happy hours. We've got Kathy taking bike rides. Nice. Yes. Yes. And Tammy, she's going to the community pool. And yes, so we've got to get people back out. And Christy in the backyard, met some friends. We're getting a lot of feedback. And what I want to know, though, is if there's any of you that are not doing this, because one of the other things that's come from this is people have become so inward, they're so afraid to get out and get connected. So there's going to be a range of what someone might feel comfortable doing. So I'm not here to have everyone get out beyond their comfort level, or depending on their health, but we certainly need, Denise, coffee in a local park, but we need humans. And so if you, I don't know everyone in this group, but if you're looking to pair up with someone, I'm going to ask you to be vulnerable and share your name and number and say, hey, I'd love to pair up with someone that just to try to make a friend, or we could talk about Zonta, or we could talk about life, or we could make a commitment to walk or meditate. Lunch in Phyllis's backyard. Nice offer, Phyllis. I love it. I love it. So one of the things that I wanted to ask about that I think is kind of a fun thing to do is, I know that I had people really frustrated that they couldn't get out and travel. And her daughter, see Christy, moved back. She got lucky. Her daughter moved back from New York. Okay, beautiful. So Mary's looking to find someone to meet with safely in person. So we'll see if someone jumps on that. And thank you for being so vulnerable. So one of the things that I also felt was important, and Sandy's walking her dog. So one of the things that I think is important is that I didn't know how many of you have redone your bucket list. And I think bucket lists are designed to be fun, right? They're designed to be fun. And instead of focusing on what we're not able to do, we're gonna still write the bucket list. Why would we not create and dream and design what we can do? So I would love, oh, Gail wants to know about Zonta. I like it. So I was hoping that maybe some of you have already done your bucket list in COVID, and I have really given it some thought. Yes. Oh, bucket list question mark, Rubina? Is that a question? So a bucket list is those things you've always wanted to do in your life and you just haven't done them yet. So last year, it had been one of my goals to get to Europe, and it had been a long goal, but I went last year. I know that I have raced Spartan races. Those would be, Spartan race is a really challenging race that I did where there's obstacles and diving under freezing water and climbing up ropes and throwing a spear. And, you know, I just remember like, oh, can I do this? And that was on my bucket list. And I've done races, a number of races, beautiful Rubina's to go to the Northern Lights. So I want us, because when I start remembering my bucket list and thinking about new things on my bucket list, maybe we didn't even have time to create a bucket list, but we have time now. And I believe in a vision board, and I still have my vision board up, but I actually have found, I have come up with new places that I want to journey to. Our life is not, I just want to remind you, will not look like this forever. Some people maybe think, so see they're sharing, yeah. This is not forever. I know some people start to forget that if this is or they'll call it our new norm. There isn't any part of me that is accepting this is our new norm. This is now. And I want, yeah, Nicole went to Yellowstone. So, and also we can do some of the things. The US, I've been all over the US, about every state, and it's incredible here. And start pulling up maps, and it could be travel. I know someone who did 40 things. She had a bucket list with 40 things on it because she was turning 40 last year. And I got to be a part of, we did a Bollywood dance at a party. That might not be what everyone else wants to do, but it was so fun. We practiced for 4 months and we wore the beautiful attire. It was so fantastic. And so I would love to know. So here we've got some dreams of getting to Africa, and that makes her really happy. And it's good to share your dreams. And so I'm hoping that you would all spend some time getting that bucket list or getting our vision board back up there and holding on to those dreams. And the other thing that I like to do is take action towards that. So I create envelopes, and for fun, I just write on there my trip to, it used to say like my trip to Paris and London. So I have my trip to China. And I've just, for 6 years, I just throw cash in there just for fun. Like I put a picture of the mountains of China on there. And every time I do it, it makes me smile. So I get the benefit. I'm not even in China yet, but I get the benefits of China. One of the things that she did, the one who was turning 40, that she did actually with my daughter, was they went on a game show and they were on The Price is Right. That was one of her dreams, was to do that. I know other people who have done the trapeze, the flying trapeze, right? Or maybe it's going to be to get on a date. Maybe it's going to be to go, diving. I don't know, but I know there's a feeling of not feeling like we're fully living, and it doesn't have to be. It might be to just start a garden. She's going to have a great grandson in December. Nice. So I think that part, we got to get back to dreaming, and who cares if it's in 2 years or 5 years? And I don't even mean because of COVID. I just mean it's fun. And also, when you've become more isolated, you have less things to talk about. And this list, yes, some vegetable gardening. Yeah, I could have brought some photos in. I've picked butternut squash from my garden and made butternut squash, and I've made butternut squash soup. And so it might be something like something to help with healing our earth right now, right? Some of this COVID's about our earth. And so maybe some of it's going to be political. I mean, Zonta offers a lot of choices too of what you want to get involved in. So whether it's even that maybe on your list was something political, maybe it's something for our planet. And I know for me, so I didn't know how many of you are giving that some thought of what your bucket list can look like, but it will give you hope again. And then when you're sharing with friends too, and they're like, what do you mean you're going there? I just know I'm going to go there. We're going to be going there. And you look it up in a book and start going online and start creating. So here we've got someone going to the Rocky Mountains next year. Yeah, we need to plan ahead. We need to have dreams to look forward to. Yes. So another piece to me that I think is a fun retreat time when we get a little breather time with COVID is, if any of you know there's things in your house or in your car or on your desk that you've just put off doing that are little irritants. And why would we live our lives with these little irritants, right? Why, if we needed to have a room painted, fix the glass on our car window, maybe it's to clean out that cupboard, maybe it's that you've just been storing stuff. We're a culture of stuff in the garage, and that we're just not putting the energy. It takes energy. That's why I have people jiggle, is to get their energy going. When you get your energy going, or you do a smile meditation, you have energy to go take care of those things. But I wondered, in this time, it's such a great time to take care of something that is not, it's been a little irritant. So I wondered if any of you can think of something that you might share, that you might commit to taking care of, so that we're not putting it off when kind of just sitting on the couch disconnecting. But I know that's one way to raise your energy level, right? When anyone takes care of something that's in their, just something as simple as their car window, or cleaning their car, home office, clearing our cupboards. But so we're getting some commitments. And there isn't, I don't know anyone who would say, I'm not happier after I've done it. Everyone would tell me someone's detailing their car, irritant, detailed and waxed. Kathy, commitment, done, right? We're going to take care of this, and we're not going to put it off another day, right? We're just gonna get that scheduled. But I know these are the things that all elevate us, and that's what we're needing right now if we're paying attention to the body. So I didn't know how many of you are health conscious or paying attention to our bodies, but when you're mindful of your body, I never thought I could be that sensitive. Denise is going to go for the garage. She's thinking about it. So I wanted to talk about food. I'm definitely a foodie. I pay attention to the body. I never thought I could get so sensitive to know that, and I heard this from one of my clients, that if she puts her hand on that food, she'll know if it's going to take energy from her body or give her body energy. And I know for me, go Gloria. I know for me, I can tell that now with what I put in my body. And I don't know what the changes are that you need. For me, it's been a gradual change over the years. And I know that when people tell me they're tired, the majority of people, our soils are depleted and they need to take some vitamin Bs, they're not getting it from the soils. So always asking a doctor. I'm not a trained nutritionist, but I would say it's a very interesting thing to watch that people say, I'm sluggish. They say, well, I used to take these. They made me feel better. Or I could get a shot from vitamin Bs and I could feel good. But there's something in the body that blocks them from actually doing it and feeling good and feeling amazing. So the brain has its way, or the saboteur. And so I'm wanting you to be thinking about, for me, I know I just kept dialing it in. I don't know how many of you take vitamin D every day, but it's an epidemic in our planet that people need D. D is a hormone that equals depression. And we have people sad about this planet, but it can be physical too, that they need to get, it's a blood test, and it's one of the cheapest supplements you can take, but the majority of doctors have been putting people on D, which is, I just want to say it again, is depression. That's and so I'm wanting to encourage people to be taking something from today, and it might be that they need to start taking supplements and certainly like adjusting the food. Yes, so D, Christy, talking about D, important to help with, building our body up, right? So I'm not going to make any promises, but I'm going to say I'm doing a lot right now, and I think there would be less fear. Yes, pain gone. So D, critical. Bs, I take them throughout the day, and one of my food that I use regularly when I'm cooking, because I like people to get things through food, is something as simple as brewer's yeast, which my grandma used to talk about, my mom, brewer's yeast. And I put it on all my roasted vegetables. I put it on when I saute cabbage. I put it in my soups because it makes things kind of taste cheesy and creamy. I'm a vegan. And so there I get my Bs. And I just don't let myself drop in my energy level in the day. And then the other supplement that, again, most people, they can check with their doctors, need magnesium. We have people struggling with sleep and they need to be getting magnesium in their body. And that's is something that the soil's been stripped, so it's not in the foods, and people, yes, so she's even talking about, yep, they can get it through the seeds. So today, somebody might be thinking, am I here to change everyone's eating habits? No, but it might be simple, something as simple as agreeing, I'm not going to eat after 6 tonight, so I can let my body have a break from food and rest. It might be that I get up and I drink my warm water with lemon. It might be that you investigate getting some good supplements. If your body's tired, I have people tell me every day I'm tired, and I have to assess, is it really depression, or is it their body didn't get the nutrients it needs and it's tired because it doesn't have the nutrients it needs to get its energy level up? So, I mean, it's just a place to start and to choose something that you'll agree to go get your blood work done. Maybe that's something you've put off. Yeah, so Mary's had her on D, and I know that that also a lot of doctors really don't know about nutrition. So it's something that you might have to say, could you take this and do this test for me? But our systems are becoming more sensitive. So I want to encourage you to be looking at food and live food. And if you can afford to get organic, to be getting those chemicals. Right now, babies are born with over 1,500 chemicals in them. You know, they have little allergies already that are starting. And so we're living in a different world, but isn't that part of COVID's got people gardening and touching the soils again and getting back to whole foods, maybe because they have a little bit more time. So I know we're supposed to go to Q&A, and I know we're going to be unmuting people, but I'm also hoping that we will be maybe getting some commitments on the food or supplements or things that you could give to your body that can actually energize your body, because the more radiant we are, we've got a lot of people on the planet hurting, and I want to be available for them. I want to have the energy for that. I hope you want that too. So I'm wondering what people might commit to in there on the chat, that, and even maybe they used to take supplements, but maybe now they're going to get back to doing the supplements. So who else wants to make some commitments on their food or has a question? We've got some good people eating some good foods. It's good. So, okay, more water. Yes, and one of the things they even said with COVID, one of the signs that happens really fast is people feel dehydrated, right? So maybe that's going to be the commitment. And one of the things that I want to tell you helps with commitments is writing them here, committing to other people. And it's also helpful to say kind of what the plan is, what you'll do as far as, I'm going to drink 32 ounces. I don't care if it's 80 ounces. I don't care what it is. I just am telling you, if the more you define the goal, the better you'll be. So it's like, I'm going to drink my water throughout the day. And at the end of the day, I'll finish one of these, I'll finish 2 of these. Just, I don't know what it's going to be, but I know water is absolutely critical. Okay, we've got consistent with water and supplements, but okay, she's restarting magnesium. Denise is going to start magnesium. I want to tell you, I know it's a funny topic. It's not my favorite to talk about, but it does make you go to the bathroom. For any women or any people who are constipated, it's a common thing from not eating enough fibers in food. So it's a good one to keep the body going. So that's another good thing. And also the good thing that I like about recommending D's, B's, and magnesiums, these are not supplements that'll cost a lot of money. So they're all affordable. Anyone committing or wanting to commit to some form of a meditation? I knew what one of the other things I wanted to bring up was, for some people, if they're not comfortable, I don't need external someone to be talking to me, but I do know that the Calm apps, the breath apps, they're all really good. And if that helps you to have those on your phone and listen to the meditation that way, and you like a guided meditation, I got to tell you, there's all research shows it lowers blood pressure, helps you sleep better, helps you be more present. There's so many benefits from meditation right now. We're going to reduce anxiety, right? Elevate the mood. So I want to know more. I want to say, because I know a couple people are asking about the recommended amount. And I know for me, I don't want to say what the amount is, but I think you're going to know, because if you start taking more than your body needs, you will get diarrhea. So, but it's also a buildup. So you don't want to start out taking too many at once. So maybe you start 1 a day, then go to 2 a day. And I'm not telling you doses. I used to do, oh my God, who's that brand that I did? I'm sorry. I'll see if it pops in my mind. But I think that part of doing a little research, sometimes I get stuff from Life Extension. Oh, good. Sandy wrote her amount, is asking. Yeah, I feel like it's everybody's different ages, everybody's body's different. So I don't feel like I want to say that. I would know. If people become members of Life Extension, they tend to give advice because there's a panel of doctors on there, of all kinds of different doctors on there, and they're always available to talk with about sort of what's the right amount. So, okay, so Gloria's talking about gaining the 10 pounds. So I do bake bread. I bake it every Sunday. And I know you were saying every other day and sharing, but there was some weight that came on, and also started changing diet to vegetarian. I'm not sure of the question, other than the commitment is we want to let go of those 10 pounds. How do we let go of that? Which some of it can be emotional eating, and some of it can be we haven't been moving our body. So to me, getting the body going again. And then also for me, I know my brain, I can't bake bread. If I baked it every other day, I would be eating some every day. I just would. So I bake it, I cut some slices, put it in my freezer, and I share it. Mine's gluten-free and dairy-free, so I have people who are super happy that I'll share it with them. So they're stoked that I don't keep it around. So, no dairy. Okay, Gail's commitment: no dairy, no soy, no gluten, no sugar. And I like that. I would probably write, I'm going to eat super strong, healthy foods for my body, super good foods for my body that work for my body, right? Work for my blood sugar. Oh, good. Mary's going to hire someone to help. Okay. And there's a lot of evidence with I'm not here to help necessarily, I wasn't here to kind of help with the health piece, but that is something that I just know that I can tell you, going gluten and dairy free. And I never liked to use, I just call it the A word, used to be in my body. I don't have it now, the inflammation. There's so many good websites out there with learning to eat and from an anti-inflammatory diet, and can actually make those changes. And
I can't even read the chat because my finger keeps hitting the wrong thing.
well, you did a good job, Mary.
I'm trying to go back and find the link, but every time I try to do it, my finger takes me away from the chat, and then I can't.
You know what, Mary?
I'm sorry. I just had a surgery yesterday, so I'm kind of like.
Okay.
I had a real horrific cyst taken away from all around my ear yesterday.
And Adele and Phyllis have it recorded, so you'll be able to go back and play that and pull up. That is all going to be there and available.
That link from Meet Me, I was trying to go back and I can't. My fingers don't let me go back to find it.
No, it's gonna. You'll be able to play the recording, Mary.
Okay.
So maybe you'll. Go ahead.
Mary, we will send you the link.
Thank you so much.
We'll put it on the Santa website, and we'll send the link to you. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and Sandy even offered to help, and Rabina is offering healing prayers. So almond milk, I know Sandy asked about almond milk. this is interesting. I can't do almond milk every day. That's one of those foods I can put my hand on the bottle and I can do it like every fourth day. So I think it depends. Some bodies are fantastic with it. And I think that you're just going to know how you feel. And that's where I want to know, like, what rituals are you doing? What routines are you doing with food to feed your body, to feed your temple right now while we're in this? We're in a new world right now, and how are we navigating through it, and how are we doing with accepting it or not accepting it? So I think if the almond milk works for you, then good. You know, if you go, God, I feel good. So I'm trying to read chat. Sorry, I keep trying to get over there to sort of see. Yeah, and
Anna says coconut milk is good.
Yes. Coconut milk, oat milk, hemp milk, flax milk. You'll see which ones work for you. And it's kind of fun to even make them. Cashew milk, I've made it. It's easy to make. And so I was wondering if we can kind of check in with the body. We've got about 5 minutes. I just wanted to check in on the body and see what, like 0 to 10, what the joy level is right now, or peace, serenity. How's the body right now? Oh, nice. I don't know how many of you can read the chat. I know Mary said it's hard to read. So Denise is calmer and Adele's at an 8. Alicia, calmer and relaxed. So we've got about 3-4 minutes. And one of the things that I know is also a really fast shift for me. And perhaps Adele or Phyllis can share a little bit about giving to Zanta. But I just want to say that some of you maybe are needing to receive at this time, and that's okay. And maybe some of you are in positions to give. And I know for me, I hold the dream that everyone in the world will have clean water. And I love charity water. 100% of donations goes to them getting clean water. Their administrative costs come out of other fundraising. I love Kiva, helps people all over the world get little loans. You actually get paid back your money by donating. And anytime I'm on that site, I'm in such gratitude and such joy. I know there's ways to give to Zanta. I'm not as familiar with that. Maybe they can share a little of that. But I would tell you that if you're in a funk, get on a Kiva site, or get on that Charity Water site, or your own place you like to give. I think everyone's called in their own way to give, and it might be a neighbor, and it might be something internationally. But I would tell you, I cannot get off that site without feeling elevated and more loving for this world and how to connect with this world. So Adele and Phyllis, I know you weren't planning on doing this at all, but I just didn't know, as far as like giving to Zanta or something, what have you found with giving to Zanta is something you do? Or
Oh gosh, I'll address that. I've been in Zanta since 1989. Zanta's given a lot back to me as well as what I've given to it. And one of the things that I'm involved with in our club is advocacy. But Zanta's mission is to improve the lives of women and girls all over the world. So we have international programs that do that, and we also have local programs. So I work closely with domestic violence victims. We have a program that we're just launching on human trafficking and educational piece. So there's lots of opportunities, and they are all built around improving the lives of women and girls. So we do have our Zanta website, which is scvzanta.com, .org. So anyone can go on and check out the programs and see what we do. And let us know if you want to participate. We would love that.
So I saw Tammy feels inspired to make some positive changes. I see Rubina's storing water out of there, and wow, filtering it for passers-by. Sorry, I'll probably cry right now. Thank you, Rubina. And yeah, do you know how lucky we are? We have water here, you know? And I saw Denise is getting ready to make some changes in her home and committing to that and moving some chi, moving some energy out, right? I really do try to figure out why some people here in our community have 3-car garages that are so full. I don't know what all they need with all that stuff, because I'm always thinking there's someone out there that could probably benefit from some of those things that are sitting there. So I like that maybe you'll be passing on some things that'll be useful to others. Rubina says, we don't get clean water. Yeah, makes most of us incredibly grateful right now. So I want to thank you for the honor of this time and gathering with all of you. And I wish you peace at this time, and connection. If you don't have it, I hope you would reach out to get it.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you very much. That was fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you. And
So
I'm gonna